So here are two fragrances that I've heard a lot of chatter about over these past couple of weeks, and I knew eventually I had to get my hands on them, and I actually ended up acquiring both of them, the men's version and the women's version. Of course, this is Soulja Boy's fragrance line, and these fragrances are Sboy by Draco for him and for her. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on these fragrances, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's video and I give you my thoughts on these two brand new celebrity fragrances, could these be the best celebrity fragrances currently on the market? I'm going to answer that question very soon, but I do want to start things off by saying that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon so you could be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel, and of course give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or if you took something of value from today's episode. Now, one thing that I'm sure of is there have been tons of celebrity fragrances released throughout the years, and a lot of them have been very lukewarm. A lot of them have actually been quite good, some of which I used to wear when they came out, don't wear them so much anymore, and many of course have already been axed or discontinued. Here we have two fragrances released by Soulja Boy, and from what I was told and from what I read online, he is heavily involved in the creation of his fragrances. He's also very passionate about fragrances himself, and when I looked at the note breakdown for each one of these, like the women's version has gardenia and strawberry in it with a little bit of musk, so that sounded really nice, really pleasant. Strawberry, generally speaking, is a beautiful note as it's used in fragrances. And then with the men's version, you had peach, coconut, caramel, vanilla, sandalwood, oak moss. So I said, whoa, this has the potential of being a really, really good fragrance. And then, of course, I saw some reviews online that had compared them to other fragrances, but I always want to make a verdict for myself. I got to get my own nose on these fragrances to determine if I really like them and if I can recommend them for you. But before we jump into the video, let's go ahead and start things off with the presentation. Now let's talk about the scents. So we're going to start with the women's version, and looking at the note breakdown, you have strawberry and gardenia and musk, and I said, okay, this is going to be a true fruity floral. I think gardenia is the only floral ingredient in here, so there's a chance that this is a soliflora. And let me tell you something, this is an amazing fragrance, and I am not just saying that. The strawberry, the musk, the floral components in here. First of all, the gardenia comes across smelling very clean, pure, elegant. It has a smooth quality about it, but also there's a flirtatiousness about it as well because of that strawberry. So it's youthful, it's very easy to wear, very easy to pull off, but I also find it to be very versatile too. So there's a touch of sweetness in the dry down, maybe a little bit of vanilla or amber or something like that. So that makes it a great formal occasion fragrance. You can wear it dressed up, but the floral aspect of it along with the strawberry, it keeps the fragrance smelling very youthful. So you can wear this one casually as well. This is great for anybody of any age. Longevity on my skin, because I spent a bit of time wearing each one of these fragrances, the longevity on my skin for the women's version was a solid 8 to 9 hours. That sort of strawberry, vanilla, amber quality in the base does last quite a while. And of course, if you look at the note breakdown, it doesn't reveal all of the ingredients that are in the fragrance. There's always more than meets the eye when it comes to actual ingredients found in a perfume. And this one is really easy to get along with. I mean, my wife loves this one, and this is one of the rare fragrances where she said, keep this upstairs because I would like to wear this in the future. I love this fragrance. Great, feminine, sensual, youthful smelling, flirtatious, but it's also classy in a way as well. And I truly love Sboy by Draco for her. In terms of the men's version, now this one is a bit darker, it's richer, and I couldn't believe it when I smelled it. I think this fragrance is super unique, especially when trying to compare it to anything else. And again, I've read and heard a few comparisons online, and I don't agree with the majority of them. As a matter of fact, I've made a few of my own comparisons along the way, but at the end of the day, I think this really stands out for how unique it is. So, wow, the fact that it's still performing as strong as it is, and I sprayed this on here like 25 minutes ago, and it smells like I just sprayed it on the test strip. This fragrance opens up with this punch of coconut and peach. It's this juicy, fleshy peach ingredient. It doesn't smell like bitter peach by Tom Ford. It's actually blended very nicely and balanced rather equally with the coconut that is in here, but it opens up with this slightly fruity, very enriching and very enigmatic opening, right? Like if you didn't look at the note breakdown, you'd think to yourself, whoa, there's some kind of a fruit bouquet in here, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. So it does open up with this fruity touch in the opening, and then immediately you perceive the sweetness that is lingering underneath all of those other ingredients. So you get the caramel, you get the vanilla, you get this gourmand richness in the base, and it's so flavorful. It's funny, I just finished doing a video on another fragrance that coincidentally also combines caramel and vanilla, and that fragrance is Lira by Casa Moratti. This fragrance smells nothing like it, but still I'm able to smell that vanilla, the caramel. This is definitely a date night, sensual, seductive, night out on the town type of a fragrance. If you're going to a bar, if you're going clubbing, if you want to smell irresistible to those around you, this has a very addictive aroma and presence. And I think it's because of the sweet ingredients, but also because of the sandalwood and the oak moss and some of these darker notes that are in here really anchoring the fragrance and giving it many hours of longevity. I'm just really impressed by how bright and how natural it smells in the opening. And I think that for a lot of celebrity fragrances, there's a certain stigma about, celebrities that enter these contracts and they just sign off on it and they have nothing to do with the fragrance. I bet you a lot of these celebrities don't even know that they have a fragrance out there, right? Until they look at their bank account. I do think that this is one of those rare exceptions where we have a celebrity perfume made by an accomplished perfumer, one that was very deliberate, very meticulous, and very well thought out in terms of how it should smell. And I also admire the uniqueness to it. Now, in my personal opinion, this fragrance did remind me a little bit of Bal d'Afrique by Byredo. It reminded me of another fragrance by Ron Marone called Black Pour Homme. And it also reminded me a little bit of kind of like this Ultramall by Jean Paul Gaultier, like sweet, sort of a creamy, delicious, gourmand, Playboy night out kind of a vibe. And I think the reactions to this fragrance are all genuine. And a lot of people have tried this and they seem to really, really be enjoying it. And I definitely see this being a really solid contender with some of these other nighttime fragrances like Azzaro Wanted by Night, Ultramall by Jean Paul Gaultier. You think about these sweet, sensual compositions, Versace Eros Flame or even Eros Parfum. All of these fragrances would be great contenders for this one and vice versa. I really do think that this fragrance carries its own weight, not only in the smell department, but in the uniqueness department, the projection department. Now it's just a matter of people getting their nose on it and trying it for themselves. And I really hope you have the opportunity to do that soon. I'm going to leave all of the appropriate links down below if you're interested. So thank you for watching, and let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, both of these fragrances are very unique. I initially suspected that the women's version was going to smell like one of the Burberry Her flankers with the strawberry in there. It actually doesn't. It goes in its own direction. And then I was kind of under the assumption that this one was going to be a hybrid of two very popular niche fragrances. That's not true either. Both of these fragrances are really unique in the way that they carry themselves, present themselves, and the overall smell for both of them, they are complementary in the sense that they both have like this sweet element to it. Of course, the women's version is a little bit more floral, but both of them are very appealing, and I can see them appealing to a really large crowd. Longevity on both was 8+ hours. The projection on both was great for the first hour and a half to 2 hours of application. It will radiate beyond an arm's length. It didn't even become an elbow's length scent up until hour 6 or something like that. And right around hour 8 or 9 is when it started to sit very close to the skin. In terms of the versatility, I think the women's version is incredibly versatile. I do feel like the men's version is a bit more of like a night out, colder weather scent. The women's version you can probably wear all year round, and I think both of these fragrances will appeal to anybody of any age, but given the sweeter notes in the men's version, I can see perhaps somebody who's a little bit younger, 20s or 30s, really getting the most out of this fragrance, especially if you're still part of the nightlife, so to speak. In terms of the presentation, I do like the presentation, kind of has like this gold feel to the bottle and the box. My final verdict on this fragrance is this is one of the best celebrity fragrances out there currently. I've tried a lot of celebrity fragrances, everything from Justin Bieber to BTS to One Direction to Adam Levine, and the list goes on and on. Patrick Dempsey has even been in a few ads. So this is one of my favorites, if not my favorite celebrity scent currently out at the moment. My wife loves the women's version. I love the men's version, and I will certainly be including it in lists, future lists to come on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. All you got to do is hit that red button down below. It would really mean a lot to me. Hit the bell icon so you could be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or if you learned something from today's video. Thank you for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.